I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
G'day, mate. You have the manners of a goat. And you smell like a donkey.
Yeah, wait a minute now. I got something to say, too.
You're short on ears and long on mouth.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
What was the question again, sir?
Not these guys.
The numbers all go to 11.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
That doesn't make sense.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
The social dilemma, dude.
Social dilemma, man. Fucking. So, had you seen it before you told me to see it?
No, because admittedly, we're a little behind the train.
Yeah.
Everyone else has seen it. But fuck it. You know,
we're
we
ahead
just
on so
watched it.
many other things.
Yeah,
man.
we're ahead, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't be ahead on it all.
Yeah, it's like it's because it loops around on itself. We're so far behind, we're technically ahead.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
They're still looking at the back of us. Somehow.
We're in the future,
We're
Shane.
in the future, man. What do you reckon of it, though?
Fucking mixed feelings.
Yeah, if anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a Netflix documentary. Basically, it's a very like intense view on social media and like the way it affects the human psyche and what it's doing and how it's designed that way and manipulated by people. That's the premise of the doco.
Yeah.
I did have mixed feelings also, though.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I liked parts of it.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was cool is it had some people in there that I've been following for a few years now.
Okay, yeah.
The big fat dirty dude with the dreads.
Yeah.
He's got some really cool shit, man.
Yeah.
It seems like they sort of nerfed him a little bit though. Like I don't think he would agree with some of the shit that was said in there. And the old chick with the fuzzy hair and the glasses.
Well, I definitely thought I'd seen her before.
I think I've sent you something.
Yeah.
And it's on this topic,
Was
basically.
it? Yeah, because I thought I'd seen a thing of, and I don't know if it's the same girl.
It's
or if I'm
basically just her the whole time?
relating different stuff, but it was talking about like cell phone radiation and stuff. I can't remember if that's the same lady.
I don't know. Mate,
That could just be something totally different, and whatever.
Well, that's sort of like, she's in that.
It was all to do with technology.
She's in that
It was
sphere,
yeah,
so I
that
would
sphere.
imagine Shan.
Yeah, but she's definitely in a video you've sent me for sure. Yeah. And I can't remember what the channel was, but it was like a pretty well-made video too.
It was really good, man.
It was a good one.
It was like this, sort of very similar like topic, but it was just better.
Yeah.
It was more in depth.
Yes.
I didn't like...
Because this sort of seems to be, like, this doesn't go into heaps of depth. It tells you what's wrong with everything. Doesn't give you any solutions or anything.
No solutions.
It's just saying,
no counter argument.
It sucks, put it down. We're the guys who did it. We made money off it. Now we're making money off this Netflix thing, telling you not to do it or whatever,
Yeah.
Sort of reminds me of cigarettes a little bit,
Yeah.
We'll make the cigarettes and then we'll put the things on the packet, tell you not to do it, and then sell you the Nicorette or whatever.
Yeah.
Same sort of fucking thing.
Then we'll tax the fuck out of it.
Yeah, and because no one who still works in the companies was on the thing, it's all, people that used to be in them, weirdly enough.
But is that like a contract? Like, so like my brother, he works for the government. He's not allowed to do any interviews on, when he's not rail now, but when he was rail, he's not allowed to do any interviews, any media stuff talking about the rails at all.
Yeah.
Instant dismissal.
Yeah, for sure. But if it was that bad and there were people like who were like feeling that guilty, surely they would have come out or something, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a problem there or whatever in that.
Yeah.
For sure. But
I think I'm way more stronger on it than you are. Because we've had these conversations before.
I just felt like the documentary had a very extreme view. Which is totally fair in that. But.
Yeah, I didn't like also like there's a lot of corny shit in there with the little fucking scenes.
Well, that's one thing I was going to say to you that was so funny.
bad.
I didn't like that. We didn't need that movie scene. It was hilarious to me. It took me out the documentary every time.
Way out of it. It's like almost like if you want people to fucking take something serious, don't put that shit in it. It's unneeded. Well, it added nothing.
Yeah, because what it felt like to me, it felt like they didn't have enough stuff for a whole documentary. They're like, man, these nerds are just like rambling on about technology. We sort of need to make this interesting. It's like in the middle, cut in some like dramatic stuff about like this family who's getting pulled apart by phones. It cracked me up because like the kid, it's funny how like the this is what the algorithm will do to you, man. It's like he checks his phone, he sees like notification that his ex-girlfriend's got like a new boyfriend, And then just from there, he starts watching Alex Jones type videos and just descends into going to rallies until he gets his sister arrested. It's like, that's exactly what happens.
You know, and they brought politics into it, and they were clearly on one side and not the other. So I hate that. Like, you can't be biased in a doco like that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the fucking just them scenes, they added nothing. If you want people to take something, I could almost think it's almost like a backhanded way of like discrediting something too. I watched a lot of propaganda shit in my time, and like apparently one tactic is if you can get someone to laugh at something, it's really hard for them to perceive that thing as a threat or take it 100% seriously.
Sure, yep.
In their subconscious, because they've already mocked it and laughed at it. So it's really hard to come back from that. Apparently it's psychology, and so that's a really hard thing to come back from.
Yeah, well, I totally understand that. 'Cause I even remember just like so many times I'd witnessed like being at school, like as a young kid, whenever there'd be like weird confrontation between two kids, there'd always be one kid who'd try to laugh it off. Like in this really weird way where you'd be like, fuck, you know this kid's really affected by this, the way he's trying to like laugh this off. It's like the laughing just breaks the situation. Or I'd even know when I was a kid watching like a horror film, Home Alone, and I'd be scared as shit, I'd have to try and make exactly. I'd have to try and joke about things and that.
It's funny.
And just try to like, it just
not real. Not
consciously, but it's like that just making something funny just literally like psychologically breaks it.
It takes the real out of it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely a real thing, like you were saying. That was definitely,
I know that was definitely peppered through it. But you know, like also, man, you know, because there was things I really liked about it and things I didn't. But I think that's going to be a constant. Like we're like that anyway.
Yeah.
Because what's the last thing you liked the whole thing of anyway? I don't think we're ever going to get a fucking slap in the face truth fucking revealing off of Netflix. You know, off of any of these platforms.
When you think about it, it's like this is all about how algorithms are controlling your future and stuff.
Subscribe to Netflix.
And then where did you
pay
got
a
it?
subscription?
And it's like, oh, my Netflix algorithm who like, you know, they funded this whole documentary and then their algorithm fed this into my fucking my shit. So like it's got fed to me through an algorithm, like. And they know that. That's how they got people to watch it, because they were trusting the Netflix fucking algorithm, man.
That's right.
You know? So, like, that's where I can't be like, I can't totally hate on it in, like, oh, no, not the documentary, but, like, social media.
Okay.
Because, fuck, man, we're making a podcast, dude. We're putting this out. It's going to be in an algorithm, you know? Like, heaps of the shit I watch goes through algorithms or whatever and shit. That's just how it is. How I found a lot of the stuff I like, you know, in that sense or whatever. And like, I'm technically a part of this fucking system, you know? So I can't be totally like this, like, it's just evil or whatever and shit. And then just be like and subscribe, guys.
See, I'm glad there's one of us on here, because I was thinking, man, I don't really have much positive. So I was like, I think Daniel's like, we're a bit different in this view. So it's good that, like that I'm not this hate, and then because you're the one putting it on Twitter and everything and that, and it's like that's hell hypocritical of me because I'm on it as well. And it's like, you know, but I'm glad that we like.
No, it's good.
It's good, you know, to have different perspectives on things. Like, you know, look, in life, man, this goes with anything. You don't want to sit around and suck each other's dicks on everything, man.
No, man.
Like,
mouth get real dry.
I'd rather be friends with critical people than yes men.
Fuck yeah.
That's the only way you learn and get better and evolve, and otherwise you stay stagnant, man.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I think life is about constantly, every 10 revision. You're constantly revising your beliefs, your likes.
And just be challenged.
Challenged,
like,
man.
You know, like,
listen to things you wouldn't normally listen to. Give your brain the respect. Yourself the respect, opportunity to maybe learn something. Maybe get better at something.
Who knows what you learn, man? Who knows?
Who knows,
I
man?
said empty your mind. Be formless.
Because that's
shapeless.
one thing I hate, like, with when I'm talking to, like, family members wives. But you know, like they're just so like they're really surface level with fucking delving into shit and that whatever comes off the TV is gospel 100% true.
Yep.
And then they go, oh, I've done my research on Google, and it's too easy to go on Google or something and find shit that reconfirms what you believe.
Yes.
It's really easy to cherry pick. Like an example is if you write, say you're a PlayStation man, if you write PlayStation versus Xbox, PlayStation 5 versus the new Xbox, majority of them articles I've noticed will lean towards PS5. But if you write Xbox versus they will lean towards, it really matters, man.
And it probably, as they say in this documentary, depends off like, you've probably looked up a lot of PS4 games before and never typed in a single Xbox game, so it's like it's going to
lean to that side.
Yeah. And it's not going to lean you towards an article that says like, why they're both pretty good consoles. It's going to lead you to the article that says, fuck Xbox, PS4 kicks ass. Because, you'd be like, yes, it does. Yeah, I got a fucking PS4 over there. It does kick ass, motherfucker. Fuck your Xbox. Because, that's what creates clicks, man, is like negative stuff. I think we said it like one of the other ones when we're talking about the cats stuff is like, I don't really click articles that are just about normal like shit or happy shit. I try to not click articles anymore, but like, it's people click articles that are divisive and like, they're like, what? He did that? Or this is happening? And they click it. They're not like, whoa, a new species of like bird in the Amazon. Fuck, click that, share. It's like that's pretty rare.
See, maybe
people share like, this bird's extinct in the Amazon. Share it. Rather than there's a new bird in the Amazon. Share it. If you know what I'm saying, like just somehow that and like the people who create this stuff, they know that. That's why they funnel that stuff out because it just creates. That's what creates clicks. More stuff like that.
That's right. One thing I liked in the doco, man, was I liked the fucking the analogy that they had with the fucking the 3D, like they've got a 3D it was like that was some real Westworld Rehoboam shit, man. That's what got me into Westworld. We talked about that before, like fucking we hate season 3 and all that. That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about now, but the Rehoboam and the whole premises of it, that's kind of my view on social media.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
All this stuff, man.
For sure.
I think like, I know like people, I don't think it's all fucking, I think there is some nefarious shit. I think it's a big experiment and like a data mining thing and for whatever the purpose. I think it's pretty, like, it terrifies me.
Yeah, and I reckon it's almost like it could be, or maybe not anymore at the start, it's like they didn't even know what the purpose was. They just knew they could do it, and so they did it, if you know what I'm saying. It's like, there will be a purpose to this one day. There's something we can do with all this shit, so they just did it. We can do it, might as well store it if you can or whatever, and then one thing leads to another. Because I 100% agree that there's nefarious things that go on, and, like, shady people within every facet of life and organization, man. There's shady people down at the pizza shop on the corner, you know what I'm saying? There's shady people everywhere and definitely within these organizations. But I do, or I like to believe that they didn't have, not everyone had evil intentions in mind. If it went like creating this stuff, like as one guy said, he's like, man, when we created the like button, we were just like,
see, I don't believe that.
People can just like shit. Or
I don't buy that. I didn't buy that when he said that.
What I buy is when he talks about the tagging, and he's like, I don't think they were like, tagging is going to be an evil thing, and we're going to create a whole bunch of fucking shit because of tagging. I reckon he's like, how do we get more people to be on the website and like clicking buttons? And they're like, dude, some guy's like, man, what if like people could just tag each other? And like he said, he's like, people, then they'll start doing that all fucking day, man. He's like, people will just be clicking all the fucking time. And he's like, dude, that's a great idea. That'll get way more people clicking buttons, you know? That's what I think it is, personally. Most of the time, rather than someone's like, I'm going to create a tag button to, like, fucking just spread evil into the world or something.
I think, like, I don't know, man.
I reckon he's like, this is just going to get way more money for us, man. This gets fucking 10,000 more clicks every single fucking minute or some shit.
It's almost like, we can't say the word, but for me, I'm on the other side. I think it's like, it's not like, oh, Mr. Brain, what are we doing today? Taking over the world. Like we do every episode. But I think, like, man, we have to realize that, like, people have been trying to control people since the pyramids.
Yes.
Fucking, and for me, like I've sort of with all this shit, I think this is just almost another extension of like what the fucking what's the word I can say because you're not allowed to say the word.
Write it.
It's the shit. How do you say that? Them, you know them people.
Oh, okay. You can say that word.
Can I?
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's like almost an extension of like the fucking MK Ultra, but the brain splitting shit that the Nazis were experimenting on in the day. I almost think like this is. I almost think they know so much about psychology by the time this come along.
Yeah.
That they do actually realize the power of it and that they can fully manipulate people and control who they vote for or influence who they vote for.
Yeah.
Socially.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Not like evil, but like control.
Yeah. Yeah. Or people would just
manipulation.
Who have alternative motives.
Who want you to vote for a certain person.
Yeah.
You know,
but I don't necessarily, because I 100% agree with that. I don't want to be like, no, there's no fucking corruption. I believe in like insane amounts of corruption, man. Like the shit that goes on in my head.
You don't got to tell me.
You know? Yeah. You get what's going on here.
Man, we've had plenty of conversations.
I just,
you know,
like,
it's
hard for me to believe that like everyone who was, you know, the guy programming the code of like a like button does this, which makes this affect this, always had an evil fucking thing in his mind. You know, he's like, I'm literally a programmer. I love fucking computers. I've gone to school with many a fucking dudes who were just like, dude, all I want to do is program shit. I want to make apps. I want to, you know, they're like, want to program shit, whatever. They just love
100%
ones and zeros, you know, and that's they just get fucking.
But could he have?
They get like boners out of ones and zeros, and like when this fucking that wire hits that wire and shit, they're like, woo, we just fucking program something. Man.
Could he have?
I reckon there's those dudes too.
100%. But could them people not be also corrupted and manipulated, and they don't know? Like they don't.
For sure.
They're so into their ones and zeros, and they've got their dream job.
Yeah.
That they don't realize the people above them.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually have an agenda, and they don't even recognize.
That's probably more what I'm getting at in the sense of like, I reckon there's dudes who are literally just pressing ones and zeros, you know.
100%.
And they're like, dude, Jeff came up with that brilliant one where he doesn't even know what those ones and zeros are leading to, really. And we're like, good work, Jeff. You get a fucking promotion, man.
Yeah.
Because you made some great ones and zeros.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I did do some good ones and zeros, man. Hell yeah, I did. And then he gets the pat. Oh, man, I'm going to make some more ones and zeros.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
and his phone is getting bigger and bigger.
And they're like, yeah, make more ones
his
and zeros.
His iPhone is getting more powerful and powerful.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah.
You can bend it.
Make more ones and zeros, Jeff. Do it. Do it. You know you want to.
100%, man. Fucking, and I think there's people, like, I think there's fucking secret societies and clubs, right? Where, like, people in the club don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
Up the top or behind the scenes.
That's a cool club.
Or in the money books.
Yeah.
You know, like I got a fucking, my papa's missus, she's like a treasurer for the church. I won't say the church. And, you know, every time I've had a death in my family, they get like someone out there to read some shit, and they always take cash, and I'm always complaining about it. Like, if he's such a fucking man of the fucking Lord and so pure, and it's all about love, why do we got to pay?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, but you know, they're broke and that. And how do you know that? Oh, because I do the books. How does that cash that we just give him, does that go on the books? No. Well, how do you know? How do you know how many of these he does a week? You know what I mean?
Yeah, how convenient.
Like, how fucking convenient, man. Yeah. Hey, if the Lord wants me to have a Rolls Royce,
yeah,
I'll have a Rolls Royce.
God wants me to be doing this. But no, I agree, man. I 100% agree.
You know, you don't always know what's going on.
Oh,
like, you know, like, how many jobs have you had?
Yeah, I don't think you really ever know what's going on.
No, and like sometimes it's not even you don't know, you just don't care.
Yeah,
like how many
dude,
people
big
are
time.
like that in their job? Man, I don't give a fuck, bro.
Dude,
like, all I'm thinking about is going sailing on my yacht with my big titty missus on the weekend and fucking finding someone to look after the kids.
Yeah, bingo, dude. That's
all
100%
I care
where
about,
I'm.
man.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon that, and that's probably 85 to 90% of them, you know. And then there's the few that are like, yeah,
Excellent.
They're sitting back like Mr. Burns.
Release the house.
yeah, man. It's
So anyway,
wild. But
let's get on some fucking points though. Like
points, man. Some
what-
points.
like
Because I think there is a lot of good stuff from this, and because one thing I'll just say before
man.
we hit your points is
this is this is back and
it's
forth
back and forth.
points,
It's
man.
ping pong with
This ain't all
the
my
words,
points,
man. Fuck your points. But is like I don't think this is anything new
Well,
in the sense of like how it's described as like a system which is run by people who are consciously aware of what they're doing in the sense of how they're manipulating everyone else. They're consciously aware of it and they're doing it on purpose. They design their systems this way or whatever. I don't think that's anything new in the sense of like, because they really like they put it across in the sense of this is how I got it, as if like we have no control over the fact, you know, this like AI system is like running your life, where like I think there's a lot of like, you know, humans have the free will to do whatever. Just like like you're a perfect example. You don't have pretty much any of the social media apps at all. You don't even pretty much have account. Like you just it's not controlling your life. You know what I'm saying? Like so. Is that an excuse for someone else or whatever, if you know what I'm saying? Because, like, people were planning, they do the same thing through movies, television, games were the same way. You know, they programmed every single game to be as addictive as possible. They wanted you to play the game all day and go buy more games or whatever. So, in a sense, I think this is just, like, it's scary to so many people because it's, like, this is almost, like, just the perfect machine. Like, the engine, like, the internet is, like, just this perfect engine that functions through this system, which has nefarious purposes and isn't good. It's just like the most oiled machine to do this. It works so fucking well.
Efficient.
It is scary. Like games worked really well, hooked kids for ages, you know, movies, Saturday morning TV and stuff like that. But like this is just like, fuck, man, we perfected the Tesla of like this marketing machine and how to manipulate people. That's why it's so scary. But I don't think it's like, in that sort of terms, like a new thing that's hit the fucking...
No, I don't think it's new, but I think it's like I don't think anything compares to it.
No, exactly. I think this is just like...
I think it's uncomprehendibly, exponentially way more efficient than a newspaper.
Yes, 100%.
The TV. Like, proof of it is too, man, like newspaper sales and like people who actually watch the main channel news, the views and the sales on that is so far down compared to the past. Yeah. And like when I watch the news and shit, it's littered with like Facebook thumbs. And all this shit and accounts and this fucking thing and that Twitters and all, you know, it's like it's had to just to keep up.
Yes.
Like not even because it can't compete. It can't even compete in my mind.
I agree.
Like just to keep up, it's had to adopt and take on and befriend all this shit.
Yes.
Just to be relevant, just to be able to occupy the space with it.
I definitely agree, but I see it as like a toddler version of what this is. This is like the Terminator fucking version. You know, this is like
efficient.
the final. Yeah, it's like they had these ways of trying to, whatever you call the thing. I don't know if there's a name or a word for it. Whatever you call that, whatever the system is, which is manipulating people into being drawn to the screen or whatever, you know what the thing is, whatever you call it. I don't know what you'd call it. Whatever that thing is that, you know, televisions, newspapers, games have tried to do, everything's tried to do. This is just like it on steroids. This is the Terminator version of it. This thing just literally fucking eats it, you know, like and it's just it's freaky, man. It's fucking scary.
Before I get into some points, man, just one last thing on the doco that I didn't like was I really hated how it really threw mud and discredited all other conspiracies, and it almost led me to like the message the message it was trying to fucking put out there. What I interpreted was basically, I got the impression that it was sort of saying like fake news and conspiracies and stuff basically only come from online.
Yeah.
Where like what, it can't come from the news, a newspaper? Like,
Yes.
there's no false information ever
I
been
definitely
put
got that
on
vibe.
any of them platforms?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Especially because how many times the sister was like, "That's just propaganda," and it's just like he's watching like a YouTube video of someone saying some shit, and because the YouTube videos were always framed as like some sort of
The
crazy
worst
Alex
ones,
Jones
the
type
worst
dude.
ones,
and it's
man.
only after he starts watching those videos he spirals to going to rallies. Rallies aren't good. Don't participate in shit, and then he gets locked. You know, like him and
Yeah.
his sister get arrested and shit. Yeah, I'm with you. It was
And
it was weird there.
and to add one thing I hate about that style of reporting, whatever you want to fucking call it.
It's not biased in any way, shape, or form,
Oh my
you know?
God, man! But if you're gonna throw like say, that's so pathetic, that's so unbelievably not true,
Yeah.
then give me a reason why.
Yes.
You can't just laugh at something, throw some shit at it, and then expect me, oh, okay, it's not true then. No, I'm a fucking intellectual fucking dude on a journey. I'm not intellectual.
Yeah.
I'm just a dude on a fucking
You're
journey.
intellectual as fuck,
I'm on a
man.
dude on a journey, man. I need counter arguments
Yes.
and points.
Yep.
Like, it's not good enough for me to say, that's so stupid because this person said it.
Yeah.
But what about all these other people that have
man.
credentials and
Fuck them people.
you know, like, give me a counter argument.
Yeah, and I sort of felt that way with the doco in its entirety. It's
Yep.
like it poses all these problems, but
Yep.
it's like,
I hate that.
I guess show me an example of a society that's not using social media or whatever that's functioning better or whatever. If you know what I'm saying, show me like societies like who are the dudes with like the curls and shit you know, before they Amish, yeah. Show me like Amish societies and how well they function. If you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
show me like the opposite thing. Like it's going to be here forever. If you know what I'm saying,
Well,
they're just like it's bad. Get off of it. And
Well,
it's
let's
like,
get-
the world sort of functions through this shit
Let's
now.
get
You know what
into
I'm
some
saying?
shit.
We don't know of like when hip hop guys come anymore unless you're on a fucking app. The world literally like functions through this shit. Does everyone just get off it now? You know, like it's crazy. Like it's to the point where like my sister's got a young child who's in a
Can
primary
you stop
school.
flexing, bro, please?
Oh fuck, dog.
You
Fuck,
make me-
man. I've seen your bones,
Man,
son.
you make me
Fucking
feel
put them away.
insecure, bruh.
Put your bones away, dude. But and she gets so many updates through the school from like an app. It used to be like newsletters. We'd take a newsletter home or whatever. Like so much shit is through an app now. So if she didn't have the app, she wouldn't know about heaps of shit that's going on like at the school and that. It's like,
But they could just go back to the letter.
but it's hard to just like log everything out. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think you can just log the planet out at this point. You know, I think it's just same as like when games came along in television. There were probably people who were like, "This is gonna fuck up society now" or whatever and shit. But I think we always adapt. We always tend to adapt to things. And I'm not saying that's like, you know, this isn't a problem. We're just gonna deal with it. But like, I just like to have optimism, and I feel like
Yeah,
humans-
you're more optimistic. That's what I was
humans
meant
are
to
very
say.
like adaptive, and it's a very new thing. That's why it's scary. I feel like we could, you know, we've been around for however many thousands of years, and like, I feel like we could get to the point where we fucking, you know, we got this shit pretty well sorted out or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
I don't know though. That's just a hope, man.
No, that's cool. That's
a
your hope.
fucking
I like,
man.
hey,
It's
the
a hope.
great white hope, man.
Great white hope.
I'll counter it.
Yeah.
And
Hey, hit me,
okay,
man.
because that's what we were conversing. This is what we do when the mic's off, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't think we're intelligent enough or evolved enough to and just like looking around. I think we're so shallow, and we've been like fucking the last 20, 30 years with all the Kardashian shit and all
Yeah.
that kind of that sphere.
Yeah.
That's really fucking dumbed down people and like almost idiocracy. I'm seeing that.
Yeah. No, I definitely see that too.
I'm
man. I
leaning
see
towards
that too.
because I just feel
I
I'm
see some
surrounded
fucking
by
Gatorade, man.
I think I feel personally that I'm surrounded by more stupid people than intelligent people on a day-to-day basis. People that I talk to.
Yep. But is that any different than 20 years ago?
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
it's ramped up, man. I
Okay.
think
Because obviously, you know, 20 years ago I was 5, so I wasn't talking to many people.
So this is what scares me about it. Because so what was I like 24, 23 when fucking Facebook come out?
Okay.
And like I remember like people didn't care as much what other people thought
Yeah.
about them and their life and their assets and what they had. There was always the insecurities in people and stuff, and
Yeah.
people wanted to, and the social, oh, you should be married and have a house and have this job.
Yeah.
Now it just seems like it's, since that, to me, I've noticed like a more concentration on it, and it seems like to be the be all and end all
Main
of you,
focus.
and like of all this plastic shiny shit
Yeah.
that's useless. It seems like, to me, I've noticed people care a lot more about that. And also, a thing that I really have noticed, like the generation thing maybe, is that before Facebook and shit, I remember the time where people really valued privacy. They wouldn't want random people taking pictures of them,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't want tell random people their business and what their shit looked like in the morning, and fucking all intimate details, and give photos of their kids to strangers
Yeah.
and shit like that. But now
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
always gets me.
now it's I've just seen that total 360 flip on that, man. Like, and even people like didn't like photos. Like, I know, like, I'm the old fucked up dickhead that if you took a photo of yourself, you'd probably get beaten up, man.
Yeah, I hate fucking photos,
Like,
man.
so like this selfie shit and all that, it's just, it seems really and I've like noticed it's so powerful that, like, an example is something like trout pout. You know, the trout pout, the chicks pushing their lips out.
Okay, yeah, I was
Right?
like, what the fuck?
So that's called trout pout
Yeah, okay.
or whatever, right?
Hey, I'm in the lingo.
Before Facebook, chicks didn't take photos like that. That wasn't. I could pull out 100 photos pre-Facebook of all girls I know. Never had a photo like that. And the thing is, it's the scary thing about it to me is that people are like, oh, I'm such a unique butterfly, and it doesn't influence me. I make all my own decisions. I'm not influenced by anything. But we can go back to your past and not find one trout pout fucking photo.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, every photo you're from this high angle.
Yeah.
So you got the cleavage and the lips sticking out.
Yeah.
Like, it's so powerful, man.
Yeah,
that people don't
yeah.
even realize that that's not even them. That's
Yes.
not even part of their fucking. That's been totally put in their subconscious. That's a behavior that's been manufactured by this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I do agree. I know what you're saying.
Ranting.
But no, that's a good one, man. I like that, dude. Just some food for thought right
before I hate though more, like,
there. Just before that, before.
Like, honestly, man, I get what you're saying. There is total positives and there's a positive side, but for me, the cons outweigh the pros.
Yep.
But I have been also a recipient of the pros, because like I with Facebook, an ex-girlfriend, a girlfriend at the time sent me up a thing when it fucking first come out, and out of that I ended up finding my sisters that I hadn't seen for 10 years, and I've been 10 years,
Bingo.
man.
Yep.
Flew over and we had a big reunion and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
See there is.
so like, as much as I hate, I have even been a recipient of positive shit from it. So you know, like, I know, well, like, there is positives.
Yeah. Hey, they caught Luca Rocco Magnotta because of this shit.
I was thinking that, but then I was thinking, would he have even existed if there wasn't social media?
Well, he would have had nowhere to post videos unless he was like. But then
that's a chicken and the egg fucking situation.
People are crafty. He probably could have just sent fucking tapes to every single news station.
But he wouldn't have blown up and got the fucking eyeballs as quickly and everything as that he got.
It was a different time though, I guess. So, I guess there was probably no killer like that or person who maybe did before then, I guess so. Because it's like, when something's that new, it's like, you can see it as really detrimental for sure, but then sometimes I also have the vision of like, is it just human evolution though? Is it just sort of like inevitable and it's where the planet's going? You look at like every fucking movie that's ever been made, even before social media was around, talking like Blade Runner, fucking all these type of like dystopian future movies, they all paint the same sort of crazy fucked up future that we all like assume, that this is going to create, and everyone had the same sort of vision of that fucked up future, and technology is going to take over. We'll have chips in our fucking arms and everyone's just going to be computing shit and not even talking. And like, what's that one with Sylvester Stallone, where they like have sex through the headgear and shit
I
like that.
loved,
Like how everything's just gonna be
Demolition Man.
Yeah, everything's just gonna be like. So people have always had this sort of like
That's a utopia.
this
that one.
fear sort of like thing of it, and like I'm just sort of, is it human nature? I don't know. There's definitely, because I see all the the manipulation. That's all 100% real, but like definitely like, and it's evil as fuck, and it's something you have to be conscious of and like aware of, if that like, and that sort of stuff. But is it just another part of human civilization in the same way how we create other like things that end up becoming super normal to us or something like that? I don't know. Like just how you're saying the trout pout, was that what it was? Yeah. And it's like it's not cool.
And there's many
like
of
it.
them. There's many
But
of them.
was there
examples.
phases like that in the 1300s where girls posed in certain ways for like drawings, if you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
I would agree.
Like,
but I don't think
it's
it was
like
on
it's the same sort of
on
human
the scale.
No, but it's the same sort of human nature thing, just ramped up over the years. Just like the same sort of system at play, but just to the fuck on steroids, man. Just absolute Hulk roided out sort of shit. Like, because there's a lot of it that I see as like, it's a real human thing. Like there's the AI and that, but we're all choosing to be involved in it and like dedicate our time to it. Last time when I seen like a mate at the pub not too long ago, man, there was this girl who was showing us her Instagram, and all she was saying, she's like, "You got Instagram?" I was like, "I don't like use it." And she's like, "Oh, it sucks." She's like, "I love this." Exactly what she said. These were her words. She's like, "I just love how fake it is." I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Oh, I love how everything's fake." And then she showed us hers, and everything on hers was like fake as shit. Like she seemed like a different person, and it was like, and she was like, "I love how fake it is," and I was like, "That's fucking absolutely bizarre." But forgot the point of what I was saying there. But like weird shit.
Yeah, you're like, is that just the new phenomena? What another thing I notice is like not just like manipulation in that. It's like one thing we just don't know. We don't know yet until a few generations come because it's new, right? So we haven't had it for generations, so we don't actually know the long-term effects yet.
Yeah.
But one thing I notice is like from in my person as an old head, like I think, and maybe people and
a much more wiser head than I.
Another thing is like people like don't like change as well. So that could be, I'm an old head. I've been used to things a certain way. People resist big change. Yeah. Right? People generally revolt and resist it. But I think it's like ruining I think it's ruining the way we communicate on a human level. I think it's ruining the social fabric of your social skills. Because like, this is another phenomenon that never existed before all this. Is like when you go out with people to a dinner or a family thing, like most of the people around the table are on their phone, man. Yeah. And they're talking to people that aren't even in that room with them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like they're talking to people that aren't even there instead of talking to the people that are willing to be there with them. And the crazy flip about that is the people that they're talking to, most of them, they don't actually really know, like the people they know at the table with them. Also, they probably wouldn't talk to that person if they were standing next to them at a bus stop.
At the table with them,
Yeah. Or if they were just standing at a bus stop next to them, they wouldn't talk to them. They'd be talking to some other random fucker on their... It's just like... it's just so weird. I think we're going to see like a big relationship dilemma, say. We're going to I think we're going to get to the point, like if it goes on that intensely, that we're going to see like a big relationships are going to be so flawed and fucking, because they don't have the skills anymore. Like I've heard a thing, I don't know how true it is, but I don't know where I read it or heard it, but
it's like everything's becoming something new.
Something new.
Yeah.
But I heard a thing, like, have you ever heard this before? Like every app you download and use is potentially a life skill you end off losing in the long run.
Oh no, I never heard that.
Because you're not you've got this app now that does this thing, and I kind of think,
Oh, okay, yes, okay. Now I get more what you're saying. I haven't heard that before.
you know what I mean? So like, if you use a fucking calculator all the time, we could
your
count that
math
as an app.
skills go down.
You're not going to have. You probably don't have natural great math skills.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah.
Because you've substituted it, and that part of your brain isn't active anymore.
Well, it's just like a muscle. If you like, it's like you're losing that muscle. You
yes.
know?
Yeah. Like if you were going to get metal legs.
Yeah.
Exto fucking legs.
Yeah.
You would probably get withered down legs.
Yeah, or how someone's in an accident, they're in a wheelchair for 6 months, and their legs have that hypertrophy. Is that the right fucking word? I can't even remember. That sounded so scientific, though, so let's run with it.
Photosynthesis.
Hey, man, they go down like bones and shit. Fucking, and then, it's just like if you don't use the muscle, you forget how to do it. Like, I used to draw stuff really awesome when I was fucking little, man. I haven't drawn in ages. If I pull up a pen right now, my drawing is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to practice makes perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Repetition.
You got to keep doing it. You stop kicking the ball, you're not going to be good at kicking that fucking ball anymore.
That's right,
man.
and I think that
I do agree. Yeah.
that applies to just not physical, but like mental and emotional, and your fucking brain. The way you operate in the world.
Yeah.
I think it filters into all that as well.
Yeah.
But, that's just
for sure.
my fucking.
No, I agree.
My
man.
doom and gloom fucking thing.
Nah, because and like I don't know if it's a thing of like you said, you
Generation
an old head, or whatever,
like just haven't had it my whole. I wasn't born into it.
Because I also see a lot of similarities in like things people have said in the past. Because like you said, like how it's changing relationships and stuff like that. And then I think of like other things that in the past that like how much the church and stuff like that was hating on certain things, or like music or whatever it was that was like breaking up relationships back then. You think how different relationships were in like the 40s or something. You probably weren't even allowed to get divorced or something.
No, most people didn't. Even they fell out of love and just because it was shunned, man. So I got my great grandparents hated each other. But they come from that era where you didn't get divorced, man.
Yeah,
and you didn't have kids without being married.
Bingo. And like you said, you just stuck together because that's what you did or whatever. And then you look at times
that was
like
the social norm.
Look at like the 70s and stuff like that, when all this hippie stuff comes in. I'm sure that wasn't the case then. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I was thinking that last night.
And you think then that wasn't the case then, and there was a catalyst that brought that along. And all the people that were the old heads at that point, they would have been like, this is fucking evil and it's ruining the world because people are just breaking up their relationships now and it's doing all this. And then all the young heads who are part of it, they're like, it's all fucking love, man. We're just doing whatever. I just I see similarities in that sort of stuff. How it's like, I don't know if it's breaking a system or if a system is doing what it like sort of always has done through time and is just evolving into something completely new that we don't know what it is. Because like you said, we don't know the 20-year later implications yet. So all we can do is really just fucking speculate about them and assume they're going to be good or really bad, and it's only going to be one of the two,
and just
basically.
Look at patterns and try and make a
exactly. So it's like
prediction.
Exactly as like those people in them times, they were like, this is just, they were doing the same thing, they didn't know the long-term implications of whatever was happening at that point, and they were like, there were people that were, this is just real bad, or this is really good, or it's just scary, it's just unknown, it's the unknown, as like, they say in every fucking, like, it's just what everyone says, people are scared of the unknown and that, so it's just like, because I see all the points of like, this is a system breaking and it's detrimental to society, but then I also see the point where it's like, or is this just what society's always done? And it's like humanity is a giant system that sort of just like eats its own systems to spit out new systems. Like that's how it keeps the system. That's like sort of what the giant system is. It's like a system eating system or something.
Yeah, that's
that
cool,
just produces more systems. And like, is it just that? If it's the next thing of that, you know what I'm saying? And then in 20 years, there's another thing that's like. That then when I'm like, this is fucking breaking shit because like, or if you know what I'm saying, then it's just the next system that's producing the next system that takes us a little bit in
or
a
is this
space.
the final system?
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, man.
No, that's the crazy thing, eh?
But that's sucking.
That's what I was thinking that shit last night about the hippies, right?
Yeah.
Exactly that. I was thinking about all this shit and like, and then I was thinking, well, like the fucking in the 70s, 60s and that, they had the big hippie movement and like that fizzled out. But some shit did stick with it, like the marriage thing, it's cool to get divorced now. And there was a more of a awareness on not all drugs are evil.
Yeah.
And so things did stick from that.
And I think
but if things from that can stick, this new thing that we're on now is like the fucking absolute is like the Optimus Prime compared to that because this is in everyone's house. The infrastructure is fucking worldwide. Like hippies weren't in everyone's house.
Yes, that's what you say.
And on the corner, and you're looking at them every day.
Yeah, this is the roided up shit.
Roided up version of the new thing.
Yeah, yeah. But just as you said, how like that generation, it phased out and things stuck. I think a lot of good things stuck, you know, and but so I don't know if this is what I'm sort of trying to get at earlier. It's like because it's so early in its development, are we going to get to the point where we learn how to properly function with this system, and in 20 years when all the extremist shit phases out, do we just keep the good stuff, sort of thing? I don't know. That's the hope. Maybe it's like a similar sort of, hopefully it's just a cycle we do. We go through these crazy phases that die down and we learn and keep the good shit from those phases.
Yeah, like 3-4 generations from now it could be, that's what they used to do.
Yeah,
they got way caught up in the fucking...
Yeah, it's like we still got Uber Eats.
They didn't understand it. Yeah,
bingo,
they were all fucking, it was a new thing.
Yeah, can you remember that?
Everyone was on it. Yeah. Now it's old and we gone back to the old way of doing things.
Yeah, but no, you still got Uber Eats because it's great to get some fucking food delivered. You kept like the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, still got Uber Eats. The shit's gangster. You might as well have Netflix. You know, we worked the fucking good shit out, and that's hopefully where we fucking go, man.
To circle back around to that chick you were saying who loved the fake. Yeah, that's actually the one thing the thing I hate most about it, and recognised instantly from the day my girlfriend set up the account for me, was because. And I think this is a good message to young people out there who maybe aren't so savvy and think that everything, that's the oracle. Because what you got to realize is, like, I'm not talking to you now. I'm talking, but what people, the young fellas, got to realize is that like what they're seeing on there and people what they're putting up is like, think of it as like a job interview, man. Yeah. You're getting the best version of that. You're getting exactly what that person wants you to see of them.
And job interview or resume is a perfect example because, like, you done lied on a resume.
You done lied on there, man.
Or you do like,
or you've upsold yourself on
you
certain
do like that
things.
double speak. If you're like me, like I fucking put pallets on boxes. I'm not gonna write that on a resume. I'm gonna be like, I reallocate fucking like
dispatch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a dispatch officer.
I reallocate parcels to like.
I put an officer on the end.
Bingo, dude. You know what I'm saying? You do some shit like that, and that's exactly what they're doing, like you said.
And I know there'd be a percentage of young people that don't actually recognize that, man, that think, oh my God. But, like, you just got to look at look at people, what they're putting on. That's how I knew straight away, like, this is all fake because I'm like, I know Joe Blow. And no, that's he doesn't have that. He's not about that. That's not that's fucking bullshit.
That's a good way to put it.
And then I was like, bing, bing, bing. Well, if that's the people. So if I can see the people that I do know are fucking fluffing them, peacocking, right? Fluffing their feathers up. Then what about the people I don't know?
Yes.
Obviously, then they have to be doing it too.
Because what I think a lot of young people have in their head and they see their friends fluffing themselves up is they must have this weird thing, which is how powerful the social media is they're like, oh, they must be fluffing themselves up to match these other people who don't have to fluff themselves up. Or that's probably what they think.
Yeah.
And because like, everyone has heard this and knows, but doesn't like fully understand. They're like, oh, everything's fake. Even like you tell young people, they're like, yeah, of course, she doesn't actually look that good in real life or whatever and shit. But like, they know that, but they don't believe it.
Yeah.
Is what, because even like I was, I'd always like, I don't go on those things often and that, but even, I have the understanding that, half this shit is fucking fake. These, that's not their real life. They turn the camera off and fucking, they're not doing that or whatever and shit. They walk away from
That's what they wanted you to see.
They walk away from the yacht, hop in the Uber and go back home or whatever.
And cry.
Yeah. But it was when that girl showed me the stuff, which was maybe like, oh, whoa. Like I had like a bit of a realization, like it is that fake. Like I always knew, but I never really cared.
How fake
it wasn't at the front of my mind. Oh, okay, yeah. It was like, but it's like, oh, wow.
It's plastic as fuck.
Yeah.
Like totally synthetic.
Yeah, you look like a different person and you're like literally down at the docks and everything and you're sitting on the weekend at a pub in Salisbury next to me. Like, I was like, that's a different life. That's not quite the same thing, man.
No, man. No.
But, whatever. It's what it is, man.
And you're actually 5 foot tall, you're not.
Yeah.
6'3". 6'3". I'm sure I'm only 5'10". Like,
Very
how am I
strange.
looking down on you? I don't get it. 6'9".
yeah. It's on 3'9". I'm looking down on you.
So, and another circle back, you said like right at the start of this, fucking sometimes I elephant them things sometimes.
Dude.
But you said like I don't know if we can disconnect and like let's have a look at people like communities who like some Amish or whatever. I would say I reckon I've drawn a line like where I can see a crossover with like how come all of a sudden, and we're talking, this goes into the fake shit we were just saying. I think this ties in with it.
Yep.
Is why is there an explosion in depression and anxiety? Why does every second man have depression or anxiety now? Who, and I'm talking like depression and anxiety, and these people come from good homes.
It's becoming very regular.
They've got to have a good job. Like they don't actually really have anything to be really depressed or anxiety about.
Yeah.
But is it going on and looking at all this fake shit all the time that it actually leaves you feeling unfulfilled and insignificant?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing all this fake shit and you're not actually making that distinction that this is so plastic. This is fake.
Yeah.
I can't hold myself to this standard that doesn't exist because it just leads to depression and fucking anxiety. Like,
I think that's definitely a major factor.
I reckon-
And that's probably
it's got to be an element of it.
it's probably a bigger factor for girls and women over men, like with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
I think slightly.
I
like,
think men are just
in the sense of like, how many, like, it's with the Kardashian, all that stuff. Like, women thrive off like that social media presence and that sort of stuff. Where there's heaps of dudes. How many girls you know that have not got any of the apps on their phone?
Yeah,
like you know. I know a few dudes that don't fuck with that shit. Like, same as like our. Like, I don't know. Is it cool to say people's names on this shit?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We like our other mate, he doesn't use any of them either, you know? Like,
Big fella.
Yeah, real tall dude. Real tall
Oh,
motherfucker,
yes,
man.
yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah. Real tall motherfucker.
Won't say his name. Just
But, yeah. Don't know what it would do. He's a fucking
I don't know.
and shit, but
We
he's
haven't
not
even
that-
really talked about it. Doesn't he have...
Well, it's not like you could find him on anything if I gave you his name anyway. 'cause
Is he
fucking
not
got
on
him.
Facebook or anything?
No, he's not on like any of them.
Oh,
He doesn't,
sick.
you know.
I
and-
didn't actually know that.
Yeah, and like I don't know any, you know, girls thrive off this looking good. They're the ones that are posting the pictures with the trout pouts. I don't know how many dudes are doing fucking trout pouts and giving.
Yeah, but they're doing
a gym
topless
video and shit or whatever.
You know?
But like, I just think that is a lot more present in females.
Yep.
And I think they even stated the statistic in the doco where it was like a whole bunch, like people go into hospitals or something.
One
or-
thing I hated, I've even read it here, is in the doco, they only touch on female suicide rates has been up since all this. Like, you're telling me no guys have killed themselves for feeling fucking I could name
Well, way more guys kill themselves than girls. That's just a
that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a
statistical fact.
Yeah.
But
it's an objective
that's one
fact.
thing I hated about the thing. It's like, why do we put it into categories like that anyway? Why wouldn't you just say suicide?
Humans.
Yeah. Have been. Why are you cherry picking this one particular fucking demographic of person when there would be everyone has been killing themselves?
Maybe I think it's just because it's maybe
statistically more.
It's grown quicker. More men kill themselves. It's probably always been that way because we've been working in mines and building fucking, you know, like 1,000 fucking story buildings with no harnesses.
Fighting wars.
10s.
Getting drafted into wars.
Yeah, and coming back with no limbs and your
when
family
you didn't even
doesn't
sign
care-
up to be in the military.
Yeah, and you got no way to contact your family. You come back to the same place. Everyone's gone. You're like, what the fuck? I don't even have like a kidney anymore or a leg, and everyone's gone, and might just kill myself. So I think guys have been doing that for a lot. So the statistics are higher.
And you
on
got
that.
divorced and lost your kids.
But yeah, exactly. And yes. I think the girl statistic had just grown quicker. And it was like a scarier statistic. I think that's why they showed that one.
Okay.
But I don't know. But to your point, and maybe we'll sort of end on this sort of point in that, which is when you were saying how like the depression just throughout like the country and like anxiety and all that is just up rampantly. I do think this is a major a major player in
Contributor?
that. Yes.
I think
like
so,
a
too.
hardcore
Yeah.
a player. Like it's fucking nearly the coach, you know?
I think so.
It's like if it's not the umpire, it's the ref. He's managing something. He's the fucking team manager or something.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's getting paid a lot to do it too.
Yep.
And you know, we're involuntarily on the team maybe. But
Yep.
I do think it's sort of like just where the world is at too, because like I think there's just sensory overload on every fucking level at the moment, almost. Like I don't even know what that means, but like I feel like it's coming from everywhere that it's fucking. And maybe I'm just one of those young dudes with depression and anxiety. But I don't know. It feels like there's just a lot of shit going on sometimes, and like unless you turn the shit off, you know, like it's hard to silence a lot of the shit that's going on. Especially with like this stuff starting to make brains function in a different way to where it's like way quicker response times and like.
But also shorter attention spans.
That's
and
the
stuff
next
like
word
that.
I was trying to get up. Very glad you said that because I was like, what the fuck is the word I'm trying to say, man? Pulled it out my motherfucking head, man. But yeah, I don't know what the solutions are, but all I know is it's like. Just lead the shit with love or whatever, and fucking.
What you just said there,
good
man.
time,
I
man.
seen a cool doco a few months ago. Real quick, fucking. And you know how you were saying like we're just so overloaded, overstimulated. The world's proliferated with this fucking. It's just everywhere. You can't really escape.
Yeah.
That to me is so sad because that's like all these people born into this shit are never gonna know the life before that.
Yeah.
And in this doco, man, they had what they would do is they would take fucking city people and that you know, people that lived in the metropolis.
Yeah.
And they never you know, been camping or anything. So they've never really been away from a dish.
Yes.
There's always been a dish
Yes.
around them. And so they take them out and they take them out way past the dishes and it's off the grid and you have no service or anything out there. And they take him out there for a couple of weeks. And these people have never experienced this ever in their life, man. And the first few days, they're kind of, it's a big adjustment. They're freaking out. They're going to check their phone, but there's nothing to check because they're not connected to anything.
Yeah.
And it's a big freak out. But by the end of the week, man, they start going around interviewing the people and they're like,
it's like they're reset.
They're like, I can't explain this feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain this tranquil, calm feeling I feel like. And then by the end of the second week, they're like, I'm going to make this a thing in my life. I'm going to at least try to do this at least once a year, come out here away from everything and get that feeling again. Because they're like, they just couldn't. It was
That's
so
totally
phenomenal
cool, man,
to me, man. And I thought, that's hell cool.
That is
'cause
really cool.
My favourite thing about camping is when we go places where no one's phone works and shit.
Yeah.
I love that shit, man.
Fuck yeah.
That fucking, and it's like, it is a feeling that, I don't know, man. Maybe the dishes are you know, like you don't know. We got all fucking sorts of waves flying through us at any given minute, and we operate on wavelengths and vibes.
Yeah.
So like, it's got to be affecting us in some way,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like maybe that is another stress. Depression
Definitely.
component.
Part of that
we
overwhelming
just don't
stuff.
know. But I just want to the last thing I want to say, man, is that
Oh, just quickly, is that a note you got?
Just a
you can
note.
come back to it?
Come back
Just
to it.
because of what you said, I think it's exactly that. And whether it's the wavelengths and the dishes or whether it's,
the oversaturation.
or the mind, the human mind that's been in this system doesn't know how to deal with quiet anymore. Almost like there's another sound that is nothing that we don't know how to fucking function with. Like when that happens, it's almost like, you know how like when I was a kid, man, you ever have like where you'd feel like there's a presence or something around, or
Yeah,
you'd just
man.
be scared because
Like someone's watching me.
Someone's watching me, man.
Yeah.
It feels like I equate that to being the same thing of it's almost like your own presence is so fucking big that it's scary. It's like this extra feeling that's around, and people don't know how to be with it anymore. You know, that's why people can't be alone. They got got to be on every app and jump from girlfriend to girlfriend. They never know who the fuck anyone fucking is. You know, because they can't be with this weird
Their own
fucking
thoughts.
presence that is constantly there, but you can easily block out with a phone or whatever and stuff like that. So when you get to the fucking camping site and no one's got it, there's this fucking weird presence that's just there, and there's a vibe that like some people don't know how to fucking deal with. They're like, this is weird. Maybe after a few days they come to it, but it's like I don't know if that's a thing,
Yeah,
but it's
man,
like I
I
feel
reckon,
like
for sure.
just the human presence is so overwhelming, and like we used to know how to deal with that because that's all you had. It was there all the time.
Yep.
But now you can so easily block it and not be a part of it. That when it is
Yeah, that's
there, it's like
crazy.
overwhelming.
That's cool,
sort of.
man.
It's like
That's cool.
you're overwhelmed by yourself. Sort of thing,
that's
you know, like
that's deep, man.
it's fucking.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's touch on your point. When
This
this
last
motherfucker.
one, man, the last real fucking. I mean, I don't really want to end on a negative, but the last real scary thing to me is that
He's scared. These motherfuckers.
that's like you know, I'm gonna say Facebook, Twitter, all of them things is has. I think people have the illusion that it's unbiased and doesn't have agendas and isn't run by people who want certain outcomes or not even want, but just support certain things, so they fluff things up and suppress other things. And I think that's a really slept on thing with it. Is
I agree.
I think, and they'll say, oh, but look, they have this one. I think they give you the illusion of choice, but I don't think there's really, I think everything you see on there and even the alternate shit is what they're actually allowing you to see.
Yep.
And want you to see, and I don't really think, and you know, I think it's a bit of a weapon of mass destruction, all this shit. But a cool thing to end on, man, is this, like you've said with all the shit come before, is this just a phase, or is it the future?
Is it a phase? The future? Yeah, I don't know. Is it a phase of the future? Are we phasing the future out, man? I don't know, man. It's scary, but I think it's going to be like, it'll die off. It'll always be present. And I think we might just pull out the good thing. The good things will stay. And hopefully, as we've done with many other things, we've had war ravage the planets, like on times where people just use swords to fucking kill each other, you know, and they were running amok and somehow we came back from it. And, you know, like, I'm just hoping that maybe in the future, and these are just hopes, there's no expectations. It's just like, this is where it'd be cool if it went this way. That's where I
That's
like
why
it
I like
to
you,
go.
man. You're
That's why I
positive,
like it to go,
optimistic,
man.
motherfucker. Because I'll just live in the
And
dark,
just-
and I need that
Yeah,
light
you live in.
sometimes.
Yeah,
man.
you live in a fucking.
I'm in a dark town, and you come along every now.
Yeah.
No, there's light down there.
Hey, hey.
keep going.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
turn
you live
around.
in a fucking Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, man. Basically,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. But hopefully we just pull the good things out and stuff like that, man. Because I agree that, like, there's definitely people behind the scenes that are doing that stuff. Or if it's not so much that, or it definitely is, but as it's a tool for mass destruction. Mass distraction, yeah. Or it can be used by people in that way without even, I guess, sometimes maybe the people who created it knowing. Like, people can push agendas through that, things like political agendas, through these platforms, if you know what I'm saying, without necessarily having to be
100%, man.
in the CEO room of that. You can just, like, there's people that are smart enough to use these things to push agendas and to push, you know, post certain videos and get them viral and get them liked and whatever and shit. But I mean, on that note, like and subscribe, guys, you know?
To all the platforms.
To every platform. You get this motherfucker everywhere it is. Listen, no platforms, man.
We know you got a motherfucker, you
content.
fucking digital junkie, fucking
Yeah, dude.
digital heroin motherfucker, man.
Sick. Fuck yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You legends.
No worries,
We
I'm gonna
appreciate
go.
you, man.
I'm gonna go check my Facebook. So
Yeah, dude, same. I've had a few noties come in while we've been doing this.
I've
man.
got some filters to put on some
Flick
photos.
through 'em, yep. I'm gonna do some trout pouts and post some.
But I'm
fucking-
totally not affected, and I'm completely independent of my own thoughts. And,
Oh, totally.
But
All I'm doing is going to like a few locations after this that look like really good, depending on the lighting. I'll just get a few pictures, like whatever. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's do
peace
it.
out, you stupid motherfuckers.
See
Nah,
ya.
I love you, man.
See you next week. We love y'all. Spread the love, man.
Good day, mate.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.